In a region in the south of Italy called Salento, people are busy trying to save their beloved sea. Students from all over Europe have traveled to Salento to learn about the environmental issues and to get to know the big variety of solutions. Today we are not only meeting with local students, but also with Professor Alberto Basset of the University of Lecce, who is going to tell us something about what the problem is and what the locals do to save the beautiful sea.
The museum was open since 2008. The problem it was closed for a fire for a couple of years, so we are going to reopen the museum soon. And the museum is a museum with basically e-museum, so all the exhibition are multimedia exhibition. That it means that when you enter the museum, you can select the exhibition that you want to attend, and we are able to change them accordingly. The museum is a museum on Mediterranean ecosystem health, and of course it deals with ecology. And to study the health of ecosystem is one of the main issues of ecology as a science. Of course, ecology deals with structure and functioning of ecosystem, and then from an anthropogenic point of view, we care to ecosystem health as well, which is a great challenge if we think that it's difficult for us to be sure that we take care of our health in a safe way, that the science for taking care of our health is strong enough, and then to have the health of ecosystem that contains globally 2 million species, of course, is a great challenge. Well, the target audience is the huge public, the large public. So mainly we are going to receive school, but we are not only receiving school, we are receiving a lot of tourist people. And what is important for us and why the university is involved in this action is because we need to increase the awareness in people that we live in an ecological context now. We cannot take away ecology from our common life. And we also need to be sure that if we invest in science, we help our life. That's why we are performing this challenge. Yeah, because the Lighthouse is a symbol for us. This place is the far eastern place of Italy, and where the Lighthouse is actually the far eastern point. So if you want to see first of all, as a first person in Italy, the sunrise of January 1st, you need to come in the museum because and it's also like a microphone in the Mediterranean. And then from the museum we can hear what the Mediterranean is speaking to us, and also we can understand better people that move inside the Mediterranean looking for better condition, better life. As all species that we have in Italy, almost all species did in the past, so we are not different from them. Climate change is a global change, so we are affected more or less as all other type of ecosystem. What is different in this region is the problem that we have with water. Because you have noticed probably going around that we don't have superficial low water, we don't have rivers, we don't have streams in this region, because the rocks are limestone and water is going immediately underground. So what we are exposed to mainly is desertification, because we have regularly of how much the planktonic component is able to capture CO2 in order to keep the level of CO2 with time. Most of the CO2 is in the sea, is stored in the sea. In the Salento area, since everything is going in groundwater, we need to take care of our groundwater. We need to take care of our groundwater in agriculture. We are using water now. The Salento wine is invading Europe because it's a fantastic good wine. But it's invading Europe because we are now using groundwater. It means that our groundwater is somewhat threatened there, and we need to take care about the pollution of groundwater and to all the pollution that is entering the sea through groundwater. That is something we need to take care, and then can affect changes. No? We can do something, first of all, thinking that and our well-being is not related to our consumption. That we can try to recycle things and we can try to use things that are recycled more than things that are pretty new from the resources. Globally, humans are using about 30% of what the earth produces every year. That's too much. Particularly because a lot of people in our planet has nothing to eat 70% of what the earth produces, which is absolutely impossible. We are overcoming already the threshold. So every one of us has to think about globally when everyone is, if they use the university. Trying to avoid to look at the problem, to see the problem. We hope that technology can solve everything. Technology can solve a lot of things, and that is absolutely important. But technology is also causing things. So if improving our technology to move things, to learn, and that we need in a ecological context, and we need a new science. We need a new science that is bringing together the paradigm of ecology, sociology, and economy, and law possibly, in a single paradigm that allows us to address sustainability as a whole.
Thank you very much.
As we have heard in the interviews, we can no longer ignore the environmental issues. Not only students, but everyone needs to be actively involved in the solutions. As Alberto Basset said, everyone can do something. And as philosopher Edmund Burke said, all it takes for evil to win is for others to do nothing. However, before we can make a real difference, people need to change their mindset and recognize the pollution of the sea as a real problem, because as students, we are the future.